Prana Flow pranams practice with a Prana Flow Bhumi Namaskar, which is connecting us to that earth element. So we're going to start at the back of our raft, but I'm going to show you to the side just how we have our mudra vinyasa. So we're going to drop the hands on an inhale and reach the arms all the way overhead to the crown in Jaya Mudra, which is all the fingertips touching. And then as we exhale, we turn our palms to face the earth. And that just slides all the way down through the front of our body. When we reach the level of our navel center Manipura chakra or Muladhara chakra, which is our root, the hands sweep in front of us, connecting to the fire in the center of the earth, the fire inside ourselves. And then we inhale, we sweep the arms, backs of the fingertips touching overhead. Back to Jaya Mudra. So we call this the Prana Flow Pranam Mudra Vinyasa. So in any sacred breath rhythm, we're just tapping into closing through the backs of the eyes, coming into stillness, into presence in our body. Keep focusing on your deep inhaling and exhaling. It's also that honoring of, as we pass through the chakras with our hands, that we're just releasing what we don't need from the third eye, from our throat, our vision, our heart, our sacred center, into the earth. And then when we reach the end of this cycle, we'll bring our hands to our heart. This is our third cycle. And then we'll place one hand to the center of our mat, our raft, and we'll just simply walk to the next direction. So we're taking the Prana Flow Pranam Mudra Vinyasa in 4 directions. So any practical direction. And next inhale, we'll take the arms overhead. And then exhale. Soften through the knees, coming down through that Pranam Mudra Vinyasa. We're taking this 3 rounds in each direction. So every time we exhale, we just feel ourselves feeling more into the earth through our feet. We call those pada bandha, which is that connection to the earth. Keep grounding through the exhale. Keep bringing awareness to your physical body, your mental, emotional body through the inhale. Next time you reach the end of that 3rd round, the hands come to the heart. One hand to the heart, one hand to the center of your raft. We walk to the next direction. Honor that direction. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale. Finding the space. Keep moving with intention. Ask yourself, as we're moving in all these directions, finishing this sentence stem of I am grounding in. I am releasing to the earth. And what do you hear? At the end of that 3rd cycle, One hand to your heart, one hand to the center. And our last direction. Listening, feeling, being present, being aware. At the same time, letting the mudra vinyasa wash through your body and allow you to come into this state of presence, gratitude, awareness. This is the end of my third round. And then I'm walking back to the start of on our raft. So anytime, we're going to take this to the floor, but anytime that we come down into either an utkatasana or a high or low squat, you'll always have the option to be higher or lower, depending on how your joints are feeling. So we will flow here as we inhale, reach the arms overhead. And then exhale, we're either coming into that high malasana squat and reaching towards the center. On the exhale, if we can touch, and it's easy, we can touch the earth and come back up through the center line. So that's the high malasana squat version. I'm going to demonstrate going through that low malasana squat, bending your knees, touching the earth, bowing here. Now, if you're in your high squat, you'll take that straight, or you can stay cooking in the high squat. If you're low, on your next inhale, you'll bring your hands to your heart. And then as you exhale, you're going to come onto all fours into Anahatasana, which is hips over knees, heart to the earth or forehead to the earth, and 2 rounds of the pulsation vinyasa through the heart. So as we inhale and round through the heart, the back of the heart lifts from the earth, and then exhale, forehead, heart to earth. 2 more rounds like that. Inhale through your heart. Exhale. One more round. Inhale. Exhale. Always can sigh out the mouth. And then we inhale onto belly, into Sphinxasana, elbows under shoulders. Inhale, we lift our heart. Exhale, bowing your chin to your chest. 2 more rounds. Inhale. Stretch from the toes to the crown. Exhale, round. One more round. Inhale. Exhale. And then we slide onto our bellies in pranam. So our choice is always to create that pillow for our head, that triangle shape under our forehead. We can be hands all the way overhead in pranam with the forehead to the earth. We can also be on our elbows, the fingertips touching the third eye, Agya chakra. So any position that's comfortable And you can vary your positions at any time throughout your own practice. As we move through these prana flow sequences, the honoring of the life force is the highest good for your physical, mental, emotional body, spirit body. Just keep listening in. Release anything you want to the center of the earth. Feel your whole body breathe on the earth. And then on your next inhale, bring your hands under your shoulders. Inhale into your back bend, whether it's high or low cobra. And then exhale back onto your knees. And then pulling through the cave of your pelvis, we're going to lift the hips to the sky. And then anytime you do not want to come into downward facing dog, you're always welcome to stay on your hands and knees and move through on a hands and knees flow. But today we'll move on in through downward facing dog. So through dual leg lifting. So first on an inhale, we'll lift the left leg to the sky. And you can open or keep your hips straight. And then lower that down. And then the next inhale, we're going to inhale the right leg to the sky. Open or straight. And then exhale, bring that knee to your navel. Step the foot up to meet your hands. And then we'll go through a few rounds of the 4 movements of lunge. So inhale as you round through your upper back and pull your navel to your spine. And then as you exhale, you want to move the front shin forwards and the back heel behind. You can even grab your front shin to feel that. And then 2 more rounds. Inhale, allow your head to bow. Release the tension in your neck. And then as you exhale, anytime can be through your tongue to chin. Drop the front hip down, and the back leg spins up. And always the end of this Anjaneyasana lunge is the heart is opening. So we're rounding, 1 more inhale. And then exhale. Forward, back, down and up. And then the back knee comes down. And our Bhumi Namaskar, our hands can be on the floor or blocks. The inhale brings our heart forwards. And then exhale as we bow and straighten the front leg into Ardha Hanumanasana. So 2 more rounds. The inhale brings us forward. Heart lifts away from the pelvis. The exhale slides our hips back. One more round. Inhale. Crown to toes. Heart lifts. And then exhale. Shift the hips back. Ardha Hanumanasana. And then we take the Bhumi connecting vinyasa. So as we inhale forward and exhale, take this right knee into all fours, stretch the hands forward. Exhale, Anahatasana, heart opening on all fours. Inhale, we slide forward into Sphinx Asana, heart lift. Exhale, we come down into Pranam. And we take a extra breath here. The hips can be steady or they can sway side to side. See what release that you can let go of whenever we move in this way, moving our bodies, moving and breathing. We have this somatic, just release. We don't have to identify what needs releasing and what are all these challenges. Just say, I release my challenges to the earth. I release my frustration. I release my wandering mind. Inhale, hands under shoulders. Exhale through hips to the sky. Bring your feet together. We inhale the right leg to the sky. And bring it down on the exhale. And then inhale, left leg sky. Exhale, sweep that through. Coming onto fingertips, fists, or blocks for the 4 movements of lunge as you inhale and round. Find that length in the back of your neck. And then exhale. Let your hips feel grounded and your heart lifts. So that opposing force, that apana, which is the grounding, and the prana, which is that lifting that head to space. So inhaling, exhaling, go through that forward with the front shin, back with the back heel. And then one more round. Coming to center on the inhale, and then the exhale. As the heart's lifting, the front hip is drawing down and the back thigh is spinning to the sky. And then the back knee comes down. We inhale, open our heart forwards. And exhale, we bow, Ardha Hanumanasana. Heart to the earth, forehead to the earth. As we inhale, see how you can match the breath with the movement. So we inhale the beginning, the middle, and the end of our inhale, then our heart and our crown are up. And then as we exhale, we start this tidal pull through the belly. We exhale, our leg is straightening. Exhale, exhale. When we get to that final bowing and the final straightening, whatever that is for our leg, that's the end of our exhale. So when we sync the breath with the movement, that helps that prana, that life force, move freely through our body. It helps us listen in to what we need. Also keeps us very deeply present and keeps what we call prana flow yoga as more of a movement meditation. This is movement meditation for our body, movement alchemy for our body, mind, and spirit. Yoga, we call those the koshas. So there's many different koshas, but we simplify them to this physical, mental, emotional, and that spirit connection. So that's our last inhale. The exhale brings that knee back to the other knee. Stretch the hands forward, Anahatasana. Exhale. Inhale, we're sliding forward onto the elbows. Heart open. Toes to crown. And then exhale. All the way down into your Pranamasana. Any exhales through your mouth to go deeper. See if you can let that tension in your neck and your shoulders, your back, your arms, your legs, just dissipate into the floor, into the earth. And then we'll take a gentle twist. So we'll bring our hands above our head, bend into our left leg, and just roll off to the left side. And then inhale back to center. And exhale, right knee, and then twisting off to the right. And then inhaling, actually just flip all the way over onto your back. You can center yourselves back onto your raft if you'd like. Bring one knee, both knees together. We call this Ardha Shavasana, or the lunar bridge. One hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. As our prostration to the sky, infinite possibility. To feel the grounding effects of this Prana Flow Bhumi Namaskar with Prana Flow Pranams. Feel from this very grounded place that there's that expansion, that lightness, that vira, that courage we talk about, from this being very stable in who and what we are. You can choose to end in Shavasana or in this lunar bridge, or you can roll off to the side and push yourself up to a sacred seat. Hands, any mudra if you're sitting. I'm going to go with one hand heart, one hand belly. Listening in for any of those messages from our heart to ourselves, this spirit connection. Gratitude, peace. And as I've learned from my teacher, Shiva Ray, close our practice with chanting Om Shanti, peace for ourselves. Shanti, peace for our relationships, our families. And peace for our earth, our community. Thank you so much for joining me, Christina Powers. Thank you.